Alright lads, so after 5.5 hours of live streaming, Marvel has finally announced the official cast of Avengers Doomsday, which at the moment seems more like an Avengers vs X-Men movie. What started as a simple stream turned into one of the biggest announcements around the world. They kicked things off by showing chairs with actors' names, like Chris Hemsworth, but then they took 12 minutes to reveal the next name, Vanessa Kirby, and then another 12 to reveal Anthony Mackie. With 27 names revealed, the live stream ended up lasting over 5 hours. I can't believe Marvel made us sit through all of that, where we were just staring at empty chairs with actors' names on them. At one point, almost 10 million people across the world were watching this stream at the same time. And get this, the stream got 275 million views in just 24 hours. It's bonkers, lads, literally bonkers. Let's break down the announcement and see who's officially confirmed and who got left out, and how the story might look like in Avengers Doomsday. Before I dive into the casting though, notice Marvel filmed 2 takes of Robert Downey Jr. sitting in the chair at the end of the live stream. In the 5-hour stream, there's this giant door in the background that opens up, and we see RDJ walk in, doing his signature charismatic stride all the way up to the last chair. He sits down as Dr. Doom, looks at the camera, and gives us a shush, like he's telling us we're filming right now, so no noise please. Then he gets up and gestures with his hand, showing off the massive ensemble cast of the film. Now notice in the 2-minute video, which is basically the live stream minus the long 12-minute waiting periods, RDJ does everything the same, except this time he doesn't wave his hand to show the rest of the cast. He just smiles and then walks off camera. So yeah, it looks like Marvel filmed 2 different takes, one for the 5-hour chair stream and another for the short 2-minute announcement. Paul Rudd's chair is also different in both versions. And notice how they placed Joseph Quinn's chair right in front of the sign that says "Fire Perimeter, Keep Clear," a nod to his role as Human Torch. This is probably just a safety precaution every movie set has, but they surely placed his chair here intentionally. So there's definitely some extra attention to detail even in this chair announcement. So with that out of the way, let's get into breaking down the casting. Alright, so first off, the Asgardian brothers are back. Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston are returning as Thor and Loki in Avengers Doomsday. And I couldn't be happier because it was actually the Russo brothers who decided to kill off Loki in the original timeline, which led to the alternate Loki we have now. This version of Loki is one of the best written characters in the MCU in my opinion. And now the Russo brothers and Stephen McFeely are gonna bring him back.
I assure you, brother, the sun will shine on us again.
The last time we saw him was in Loki Season 2, where he was holding the multiverse together with his bare hands. He was sitting on a throne all by himself with his glorious purpose as the god of stories. If he's coming back in Doomsday, my guess is that something will go horribly wrong and he'll have to leave his throne to fix something in the multiverse. Or maybe Doom will destroy the temporal loom Loki created, take his throne and form Battleworld, getting his white cloak and becoming God Emperor Doom after taking Loki's power as the god of stories. This could be like how the Russos started Infinity War by killing off Loki. So let me know your thoughts. Now as for Chris Hemsworth, we've last seen him in Thor Love and Thunder with the character Love, played by his real-life daughter, and Hercules was about to hunt him down at Zeus's request. Now some reports say the Thor Corps will show up in Secret Wars. In the comics, the Thor Corps is a group of Thors across Battleworld who acted as Doom's police force, and to be in the Thor Corps, you had to be worthy to wield Mjolnir. And this group of Thor was led by Sheriff Strange himself. So even though Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't officially announced, you could pretty much bet he'll be in the film for sure. He's literally Dr. Doom's right-hand man in Secret Wars comics. Next up, of course, Robert Downey Jr., but this time as Dr. Doom. We last saw Tony Stark sacrifice himself in Avengers Endgame, giving his life to save Earth 616 in the fight against Thanos. As of now, we don't know exactly how RDJ will be connected to Victor Von Doom. He could be a Tony Stark variant, or maybe he was a Victor Von Doom the whole time. When the Russo brothers were asked how it would make sense that Tony Stark and Doom look the same, Anthony Russo responded by saying, "We can't explain that, it's part of the story, but there's nobody else in the world who could play this character the way he's about to." This could mean that Dr. Doom was always a part of the MCU, but on Earth 616, his variant turned out to be a good guy, aka Tony Stark. Another theory is that He Who Remains set Victor Von Doom on the path to becoming a hero, where he was raised by the Starks in the sacred timeline. This would set him on a path to become Iron Man instead of Doom, which is why Kang also had to remove the Fantastic Four from the sacred timeline, because if the Fantastic Four are there, Victor will always end up becoming Doom. This theory could explain why Dr. Doom looks like 616 Tony Stark. Then we get one of the funniest moments of the stream, where the camera pans to the next chair and there's nothing there. But then the camera shifts down and we see a tiny little chair for Paul Rudd, aka Ant-Man. We last saw him at the end of Quantumania, wondering if Kang might still be out there. We don't know if a version of Kang will be in Avengers Doomsday, since Doctor Doom has essentially replaced him, but Jonathan Majors has said he'd love to come back, so maybe there's still a chance, though it'll be pretty controversial. Also, Ant-Man's daughter Cassie might appear as part of the Young Avengers or Champions team, which could come out as a Disney Plus show. Next, we have one of my personal favorites, Simu Liu, aka Shang-Chi. We last saw him in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, where he was talking with Wong, Captain Marvel, and Bruce Banner about the Ten Rings emitting a beacon signal. They had no idea what the signal leads, but it hinted at a connection to Kang, but of course it will be retconned as Doctor Doom. Many rumors suggest that the Ten Rings are relics from the previous multiversal war, just like Ms. Marvel's bangles. But the most exciting part is that we're finally getting more Shang-Chi after his debut film way back in 2021. Now, Simu Liu told my friend Austin, who has helped me write the script for this video, that he'll be most excited to work with Hugh Jackman in the next Avengers film, so I really hope his wish comes true and we get to see Wolverine in Doomsday. Up next, Pedro Pascal, aka Reed Richards. Now, what's interesting is that Sue Storm was revealed way before him in the beginning of the announcement, but Reed is revealed at the end right next to Doctor Doom. This tells me that the order of how they revealed each cast member isn't random at all. It has to have a meaning. And who's Doom's biggest enemy? Reed Richards. So it makes perfect sense they place their seats next to each other. Now, from the Fantastic Four First Steps trailer, we know Reed is researching multiversal bridges, and there were strong rumors that RDJ's Doctor Doom will appear in that film too. So I think the relationship between Doom and Reed will be deeply personal, and this will lead to a major conflict between them in Doomsday. Therefore, their chairs are placed together. We also get the rest of the Fantastic Four cast coming back as well. Vanessa Kirby will play Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Avon Moss-Backrack as Ban Grimm. But what's even more fantastic is that Namor is gonna be in Avengers Doomsday as well. In the comics, Namor and Sue Storm have a romantic history, and Marvel might explore this if Doomsday memory wipes our heroes. So if Sue forgets that she was married to Reed and falls in love with Namor, that could add a lot of drama. But for now, we can probably assume that Sue will be fighting alongside the rest of the Fantastic Four against Doom and warn the 616 Avengers about how dangerous he really is. And since Johnny Storm is confirmed, I'm really hoping they include Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the film, even though he wasn't announced. The two have great bromance in the comics, and we'd love to see that on the big screen. Who knows, Joseph Quinn could even meet other variants of Human Torch like Chris Evans, and that would make Chris Evans' cameo even better than what he did in Deadpool and Wolverine. Now let's move on to the X-Men cast, and surprise surprise, Ian McKellen is reprising his role as Magneto, Patrick Stewart as Professor Xavier, Kelsey Grammer as Beast, James Marsden as Cyclops, Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler, and Rebecca Romijn as Mystique. Honestly lads, I lost it when they revealed that the entire original X-Men actors are coming back. Doomsday is starting to feel more like an Avengers vs. X-Men movie, and I'm all for it. I have a theory on how the X-Men could fit into this story, but let me go through the rest of the cast and then I'll tell you. Next, the entire Thunderbolts team is back, except for Taskmaster. And let's be honest, no character has been deader before a movie even came out than Taskmaster. They even removed her from the recent promo, while she was clearly there in the trailer. We've got Sebastian Stan as Bucky Burns, Wyatt Russell as US Agent, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, Lewis Pullman as the Sentry aka The Void, David Harbour as Red Guardian, and lastly Hannah John Kamen as Ghost. But out of all of them, I'm most excited to see Sentry in Doomsday, because Sentry is not just your run-of-the-mill superhero. He boasts all the classic powers like super strength and telepathy, but he possesses something uniquely extraordinary. He once lifted the lifeless body of a Celestial and carried it into space. He's stronger than Thor and Hulk combined, has torn Carnage apart with his bare hands, and even broke the axe of Galactus' Herald Tarex, which can destroy entire planets. He can travel from Earth to another planet in seconds, and survived a nuclear blast at point-blank range. But here's the twist. When Robert Reynolds was injected with the Sentry serum that gave him his powers, it also infected his brain, developing an alternate personality called the Void. And that's the shadowy figure we see in the Thunderbolts trailer. So while Sentry saves the world, the Void kills just as many. And that's why Sentry once tried to kill himself by flying into the sun to stop the Void. But even that didn't work because Sentry is arguably more powerful than a million exploding suns.
He's stronger than all of the Avengers rolled into one, and and soon to be known as Earth's mightiest hero.
Now, after hearing all of this about Sentry, tell me you're not hyped to see him face off against Dr. Doom. Sure, Doom is no match for him in raw power, but I'm sure Doom will find a way to get the better of him. That's gonna be a fight to remember. Next, we've got 2 more members from the Black Panther franchise returning for Doomsday. First up, Letitia Wright as Shuri, who we last saw in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She now holds the mantle of Black Panther. But I strongly believe, based on leaked concept art, that we might see a new actor take on the role of Black Panther, aka T'Challa, aka Azuri. In the comics, Azuri was Black Panther during World War II, and he is T'Challa's grandfather. He was much more hostile and protective of Wakanda. And then we have Winston Duke as M'Baku. I'm excited to see how he plays into the story, especially since we've seen a lot of growth within his character. Now, if you notice that the entire cast of Falcon and the Winter Soldier is also back, except for Zemo. We've got Anthony Mackie as Captain America, Danny Ramirez as Falcon, and of course Bucky and US Agent, who I've already mentioned. The last time we saw Sam Wilson and Joaquin Torres was in Captain America Brave New World. And in the post-credit scene, Sam was warned by the leader that other universes exist, foreshadowing the upcoming conflicts in Doomsday and Secret Wars. So Sam will likely take this information and begin to assemble the new Avengers team. And this brings me to my theory on how the Avengers and the X-Men will fit into this story, and what role the Fantastic Four could play in all of this. I think Sam Wilson's Captain America will form the new Avengers team with all the heroes from Earth 616. This would include the entire Thunderbolts team, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier team, and of course the Wakandans. They'll likely go up against the X-Men from Earth 10005, which is probably where the other X-Men characters will come from. Now, the reason I say this is because of the post-credit scene from the Marvels. There we saw Monica Rambeau fall through a tear in space-time, ending up in a parallel universe, possibly Earth 10005. Her arrival there could trigger an incursion. And what exactly is an incursion in the MCU? It's when 2 different universes start colliding with each other. And if that happens, both universes die. The only way to stop this is for one universe to be destroyed before the incursion becomes irreversible. So my theory is that Earth 616, the sacred timeline, will start colliding with Earth 10005, leading to an epic Avengers vs. X-Men battle. And this is where the Fantastic Four will come in. Reed Richards will step forward and tell both sides that they shouldn't fight each other, but should instead focus on the real enemy, Dr. Doom. Doom is the one pulling all the strings, manipulating Earth 616 into fighting the X-Men from Earth 10005. This could lead to an incredible battle where the Avengers, X-Men, and the Fantastic Four all team up against Dr. Doom. And I'm really excited to see how all of these pieces come together. So I think Avengers Doomsday is gonna end in a similar fashion like Infinity War, where the villain who thinks he's the hero wins. And then in Secret Wars, the actual heroes defeat him. And then we've got another big reveal: Channing Tatum is returning as Gambit.
Woo, I'm about to make a name for myself here.
Now, the last time we saw him was in the post-credit scene of Deadpool and Wolverine, where one of the TVA monitors showed Gambit looking at the camera, and in the reflection of his eyes, we saw a sling ring portal. Gambit has probably taken over Cassandra's hideout and is building a new team of mutants. The fact that Gambit is in the Void suggests that the story will likely have some connection to this area. The theory of Battleworld being formed on the Void might actually be true, and Gambit could play a big role in that. Now, the Hollywood Reporter has stated casting announcements are far from over, and only the main players have been revealed so far. Many surprise characters are still yet to be announced, and Marvel might be saving those for the theater experience. For now, we have 27 names that will 100% be in Avengers Doomsday, with more to come. As I said earlier, this chair stream Marvel did drew 275 million views in just 24 hours, so there is no superhero fatigue among the fans. All we want is a compelling story that does justice to our favorite characters. I honestly can't imagine how I'll react when I see Ian McKellen, Patrick Stewart, James Marsden, Alan Cumming all showing up in an Avengers movie alongside my favorite actor Robert Downey Jr. Now, although they still haven't announced Spider-Man or Tom Holland, I genuinely believe he'll be in the film. The Russo brothers are huge fans of Tom, and I don't think Marvel would want to miss the opportunity to write a plotline where Tom Holland's Peter Parker meets RDJ's Dr. Doom. It'll be such a shocking moment for Peter. For Peter, that face belongs to a hero who saved the universe. But now that same face wants to destroy destroy everything and take control. If done right and the characters are written properly, this movie could be a cinematic masterpiece in the comic book genre. So yeah, don't lose hope. More actors will definitely be joining the film, especially Tom Holland. Let me know your thoughts on this epic announcement and drop your theories for Avengers Doomsday in the comments. And you know I read all comments. Now thanks to my friend Austin who helped me write the script for this video. Please check out his channel, he's an amazing person and creator. I'm currently working on Daredevil episode 5 and 6 breakdown, so I'll see you lads in that video.